All right, so down here at the squash plant, what we're gonna do is we're gonna harvest the few squash that are here. You can see actually there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 maybe to harvest. So we're gonna get all those, put them in the bag, and I'm also gonna go through the leaves, and we're gonna look and see if we can find some squash bug eggs. So these off here, we got one. Oop, that one broke. It's all right. We'll get its little neck there. I think you're supposed to twist, but it didn't really twist. So here we got lots of squash. We're gonna have good squash tonight. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 squash off that one plant. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna look through. We're gonna find some eggs. Hopefully we don't find eggs, but you probably will find some eggs. All these little leaves here. You want to look on the underside of all these leaves. Maybe if I find me a squash bug, I'll show you what that looks like too. All right, so if you can see this right here, this is squash bugs, and these are the eggs, and they take about 10 days to hatch. So if you check your plants maybe about every week, then you should be able to get rid of all of these. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this off. What I did, I just put my thumb over it and just rip that piece of leaf right out, and you're going to either crush these or burn them or whatever you're going to do, because if you just toss this in the pile or something, these are still going to hatch and they're going to eat this leaf and they're going to come right back to your squash. So you want to get rid of these, and usually I'll take like a couple rocks or something and squeeze them in between it, or burn them or something like that, and that'll usually take care of it. So but this is what you're looking for, and this is what you want to make sure you get off of all your squash plants. All right, now real quick, I want to show you real quick. This is our spaghetti squash plant here, and this vine's all the way up and down this row. And here's a little spaghetti squash. It's about, I'd say about 5 inches long right now. All right, I also want to show you here my big boy. There's some zucchini here, and it's probably about I'd say about a foot, maybe a little over a foot long. And I'm just gonna let this one grow so I can get some seeds out of it and just see kind of how big it gets. So all right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go through the pepper bed. This is 24 feet, and I've got 23 peppers in it, and we're gonna go through each one, and I'm gonna do a time lapse of me just going through and picking all the peppers, and then I'll show you what I've got after. Yeah, I'm gonna let the cayenne continue on a little bit, and we're gonna get those maybe when they turn a little red. This is gonna get quick. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's got to be, let's say that's probably 6, 7, 8 pounds. That's pretty neat. All right, now I want to show y'all something real quick. I know the shadow's kind of dark on a little bit, but anyway, I want to show you this right here. This is a little pepper that fell off on its own. And if you see this, don't panic. It is totally fine. All it means is that the pepper plant has too many peppers on it that it can't handle, and it's just going to take the energy and it's going to put it into the ones that it can handle. So don't worry, as the pepper plant grows, you'll have more and more peppers every time you harvest. And here's another one here. Now, another thing to note, if you see a pepper plant that's out like in the wild and you think that's a pepper plant, know that pepper plants, what they do is they will only produce the peppers from the joints. They don't produce peppers on the stems at all. They just produce peppers on the joints. So if you see something that looks like a pepper plant and it's got peppers coming out of the stems, like a little extra stem, kind of like a tomato would do, where it has a little stem and little berries coming off of it, that is not a pepper plant. It may be a member of the nightshade family, but it is not a pepper plant. Now, real quick, I would also want to show you something here. I'm not sure exactly what these are. I'll have to do some research, and if you know, you can tell me. But if you see something like this, I believe it's some kind of worm. But if you see something like this, just take it off and burn them. Get rid of it. You don't want to let that continue on until it is, actual worms and then infesting your things, infesting your peppers or your squash or any of your other plants. Okay, so here we have our tomatoes. We've got some Better Bush tomatoes. We've got some Roma tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes. I don't remember all of the varieties at this time, but I've got 14 plants, tomato plants here. I have them spaced probably about 12 to 18 inches apart. I've also got them rolling up a string. So get the string tied up here, and then I got the string tied at the base of the plant. And then as the plant grows, you just wrap it up and around the string, and then that'll be its trellis. If you look at this right here, this damage here is because the leaves from the tomato plant are touching the ground or touching something else, or they get splashed water on them or something of that nature. So the best thing to do is to take these things off about a good foot to a foot and a half to almost maybe even 2 feet. Whenever your plants get really tall, you can take off the bottom section of the plant and just leave the stem. There's something I want to show you here. I'm going to go through all of these, but I'm going to bring you in close and I'm going to show you this. And I want to ask if anybody has ever seen this. So let me finish this real quick, and then I'm going to show you this root. It's crazy. All right, so basically what you want to do whenever you're taking this off is this is basically stuck on the stem like that, and you're just gonna break it off like that. So you're just gonna, and it'll pop right off, and then when you pop it back up, the bottom will break and it should come right off. If it's too green, I guess, or if this part of the leaf is not decayed enough, then it won't do that, and it possibly could, rip a good piece down your stem, where it'll take a sliver with it. So be careful to do that, not to do that. So I want to show you. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Let me go around this side real quick. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so where'd he go? They're right there. That one needs to come off too. So anyway, what I was saying, what you're going to do is you're going to take it and just going to pop it down, and see, if you do that wrong, then you're going to do what I just did, and you're going to get a little sliver like that. You don't want to do that, so don't do what I did. Anyway, so this is what I'm curious as is right here. This is the end of a tomato stem or whatever, where it's got the tomatoes on it, but I've never ever seen it shoot back up after the stem. If you look right there, it is most definitely coming off the stem, and then it's shooting right back up to another top, to the tomato plant. Has anybody ever seen this? Is this something that has ever happened? I've never seen it before. Alright, so what we got here is just a regular old bed of beans. We've got green beans here, and that's what's growing here. And then I've got here planted as well, I've got two rows of pinto beans that I had from the store. So they will sprout, and usually I think they're more considered a bush bean. I don't know what the variety of pinto bean they are, so I don't know if they're going to be a pole bean or a bush bean, but they're going to grow right here alongside of the green beans, and then if they even grow, because the green beans are kind of taking them over anyway. So we're going to see what that happens. Anyway, and then back over here, I've got a teepee that I've created here, and I've got chicken wire around it. Right here at the entrance, we have cucumbers. We got 4 of them. We got 2 on each side. They're the lemon cucumbers. And then all around them, we have a climbing mix that I got that was like morning glories and some other things. Now I plan on this green section that's right here. I do plan on this is going to be another bed, and then there's also going to be another bed that's actually I think there's going to be another 2 beds that's going to be on that side of the green beans as well. That's going to be behind the tomatoes here. Not really sure what we're going to put there, but growing, and it's a work in progress. Now I got this teepee so I could, have something that's shaded a little bit during the summertime when it's real hot. We could come out here and we could, maybe sit out here in the shade, pick a lemon zucchini or a lemon cucumber that we could eat off of, and then, just have a refreshing time out here in the garden. At the moment, they're not fulfilling their full potential right now, but most of them are doing pretty good. Lemon cucumbers here. See if we can find one. I'll show you what it looks like while it's growing. Oh, yeah, we got one right down in here. Look at that. See, right down there, right there. See, a nice little cucumber here. Had a flower on the end of it there, and it'll grow about that big. It'll get a pretty good size, and then it'll start to turn yellow and everything. And it's super refreshing, super refreshing. Yeah, we got a few flowers that are popping out here this morning. Now, one thing I didn't know about this, and I don't remember what kind of flower it is. I don't know if this is a morning glory or if this is something different. I'm not really sure. Y'all who are flower enthusiasts are the ones who probably would know. But this one, I believe I could almost root part of this because it's got roots growing all up the vine here. You see it really good on this one here. You see there's roots all up this thing. So if y'all know what that is. Now I know what some of y'all are probably going to say is that I've got weeds everywhere. And guess what I do? But that's okay, because it's a hard thing to try to get all these weeds out. Now, these are the onions that we got growing here. And I got some white onions, and I got some purple onions, and I got some yellow onions, yellow sweet onions over there. Now, I didn't ever know to do this, and this is not something that I've ever been taught before or ever, even heard about before until I watched a video on Hollis and Nancy is their name, I believe, and I think it's Hollis and Nancy's Homestead, and great people, and I've never met them, of course, but they seem to be great people on YouTube, and they're very knowledgeable about what they do, and so if you have a channel that you need to to check out, that is going to be one of them, because they have growing guides and different things, and one of their growing guides is from onions, and they're the first people that, and I'm not saying that they're the only people that ever do this, but they're the first people that I've seen that did this technique, and it works. It's crazy. So what they do is they take a knife, and like a kitchen knife with a little butter knife, and they'll bend the end of it, and he bends the end of it just so he can scrape away the dirt that's around the edge of this onion, and when you do that, that allows that bulb to really pop out and to get big and grow. And I think that's what a lot of people have an issue with, is they don't understand that the onion needs the space to grow, and whenever you just stick it into the ground and they don't do that, then it has nowhere to go, and so it can't grow into a full bulb. So by removing that dirt and just getting that space cleared out, it gives it enough space and room to really bulb out and grow. I've got two beds of onions here. This is an 8-foot bed, and then I've got a 6-foot bed just right over here, and then just behind my peppers, just behind the peppers over there, so you got the squash over there and the peppers, there's also another bed of onions that's right there. So we'll see what those do. Those are a little bit later put in. I'll put them in a little bit later, and then we'll just see what they do. Now, I understand I've got weeds everywhere, and that is not something that I'm worried about. I cut the grass, and I'll pull the weeds out if they get too bad, but it is, anybody who's trying to do this nice, perfect garden, and it just looks wonderful and beautiful and everything, because it's got no weeds on it, that's kind of not even realistic at all. So I mean, I've got grass everywhere, as you can see. Now, of course, what I'm doing is I'm trying to put the wood chips down, and I'll go through, and if I see a little piece of grass or something like that, I'll just take it and I'll pick it out, and you just lay it out there on the top of the wood chips and let it dry out and die. See, there's a couple more right here. We'll just go down there and we'll just do this. Now, if you do this every day, when you go out there, you just grab a couple of them and pull them up, get them out of the way. It didn't take no time to get that little section cleared, So don't worry about them weeds. They're always going to be there, and they're never going to stop being there. So, and you're never going to get rid of them, no matter how much you try. You're never going to get rid of them. So I'm going to take you over here to the corn. I'm going to show you what I've done with corn here. All right, so this here is the corn bed. It's a 16 by, I think, like 12 feet maybe across, and they're 2-foot beds apiece with about a foot in between. And then I have 2 rows in each bed. They're all spaced about 12 inches apart. This is a bicolor corn. It's a bicolor sweet corn. I put cardboard down first, put the dirt down, and then put the compost on top of it. And then after I put the beds in, I had the landscape timbers in there. I took the landscape timbers out, filled it in with wood chips, and filled all the way around with wood chips. And then next year we'll put the corn in a different place in this bed. All right, now coming over here, we have the raised bed that we built. This is basically based off of the Richland Refuge Farm raised bed that they had a video on a couple years ago, I believe, on how to build. And I'm paying for it because I didn't do exactly what was told to be done. Sorry. But anyway, so I didn't put the post in and stake it into the ground and everything, and as you can see, it's kind of bowing out a little bit here on the bottom. So in the future, this probably will come down, and this will just become like a big mound, I guess, or something. And then, but anyway, so what we got in it so far is we have, I had like a mix of potatoes. It was like a colored mix. It's got like the purple potatoes, and there was some red potatoes, and just different kinds of potatoes that were in that little mix. And then I have down over here, I've got the Yukon Gold is what was growing here, and then further down is the red potatoes. Now look at the difference. Look at the difference between the red potatoes and all the other ones. All the other ones are okay, But these reds are like massive compared to everything else. And then I had to grow, of course, a nice big sunflower. And it is pretty today. I think it actually just bloomed yesterday, I think, is when it started to bloom. And so it's really pretty. It's probably about I'd say about probably about 7-8 feet tall. You know, it's pretty massive. So I'm trying to get up here. I'm not really sure how tall this is. This is probably like, I'm 5'9", so my hand is raised all the way to the top, and I can't get to the top of the the sunflower up there. So it's pretty big. I mean, it's dinner plate size. You know, it's pretty good size. Now I did watch another video, and some other people were saying that the sunflowers just didn't grow as tall this year, and I think this one actually is supposed to get like 12 feet tall, and we're not there yet, but it's definitely growing. So, and but here we go. I mean, it's growing. Now this is the greenhouse here. Now it's not cleaned out at the moment. I do have lots of things that are in there at the moment, and I'll back up a little bit further so you can get a better view. This is the entrance to it. Like I said, I got some tools, and lots of things have gone on. We've been, getting this house ready, and doing some things there as well. And so it's just been a lot of work. Down here I've got, of course, there's a lot of pots and cups and things like that I just haven't cleaned up yet. And then I've got my tiller over here that, we use it a little bit, but to be honest, there's been other methods that just seem to be better than using the tiller. I mean, it did do pretty good to break up the ground, but unfortunately the ground is just, it just gets hard again so fast. And so here's another sunflower that I got growing here in the greenhouse. I haven't done very good at watering in here, so, because all my plants have gone out to the garden here, so yeah. There's a couple little peppers there. Another jalapeno right there. It's not doing too good. There's a tomato that I threw in the corner just to see what it would do. Put it on a string, just like my other ones over there. And then here comes the exit. Now, the greenhouse does have doors, and they do close. So, they do close up. And then I've also got a locking mechanism that I have to lock the door and make sure it stays closed. But of course, everybody knows it's way too hot right now, and I'm clamped open. And then back here, this will show you what I've done with the corn bed. I took the timbers here and I stacked them up right here, and then on the other side, this is a corner. This is a triangle shaped bed here, so it's gonna go off this way and go this way here. So, but I had these landscape timbers here. I had them over here as well, and they were double like that. And then we just filled it in with dirt. And then after we filled it in with dirt and everything, and then put the compost and all the stuff on top of it, then what we've done is we've removed the landscape timbers, and you have a wall basically, and then you can fill it in with the wood chips, and that walls it up and makes sure that that way you can make sure that you have a nice area to walk on, and we're just trying to make it look good, right? Because I'm pretty sure that you can't use the landscape timbers for anything food wise, so we're just trying to use them for just a wall purpose, just to get started. And then we've also got the asparagus bed is coming along pretty good. We got a little bit of some little sprigs coming up here, little fern things coming up here, and there's a few of them that they're not doing too great this year, but being the first year, then it'll change next year and get better and better year after year. So, and as you can see on this side, you can see there's where we removed the landscape timbers, and we had a couple layers of different things that we put in there. And then we'll just come back and we'll fill this right here with wood chips, and then do the same thing on this saddle on the back here, or on the front here, I guess. And it'll be a nice big triangle thing that we'll just walk around. All right, now just as a side note here, there's the asparagus bed. There's the greenhouse. There's the rest of the garden. But right back here, I've got this hump right here. Now, I thought about doing blackberries on this hump, but blackberries and stuff over here as well. And then I've also got blackberries that are up there at the road as well. And then there's also blackberries that are on this hump back here. They're everywhere. So, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with this hump here. And I'm thinking about making it like a flower, you know, like a flower thing, like a flower garden that's gonna be good for pollinators, and just a really nice, big, huge, pretty hump. Ooh, me, it's a hot one. And it's gonna be a hot one for a long time, it seems. Anyway, I want to appreciate everybody that stuck around here. This is a little over 25 minutes, 26 minutes now, and we're going to go ahead and cut it there. I'm going to show you some pictures of the sunflower that we got, and I'm also going to show you a picture of the harvest that we collected yesterday with all the squash and the banana peppers that we got. So, again, I appreciate everybody sticking around, and hope to see y'all in the next video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that bell notification, so I'll be putting new videos out. And you'll be notified every time I get to a new one. And then we'll just see you in the next one. Y'all have a wonderful day.
Let's go!